Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the last video on our Charger build. We're going to get the body painted. We're going to get the chassis and the interior put in. We're going to do some detail paint under it as soon as it's all put together. And then that's going to be that. I got to build the taxi sign for it, but that'll be at the end of the video. So what I've done so far is I came in and I primered all this already. And then I went over, I did it with the black primer and the satin, the super matte, or the honey matte. Geez, I'm sorry, the honey matte. I did that already. Same thing as I've done everywhere else. I didn't think you really need to see that. And then I wanted to show this because this has to stay black. I was going to come in and just put some liquid mask on it. Because we have to come in now and do the entire car in gray primer so we can get the red paint on it. Which is actually what I wanted to talk about in this little segment while I'm doing this. Is so because the car actually would have started life white as just a basic fleet Charger, a lot of stuff wouldn't be involved in the wrapping process. So you would have to, you have to mimic that. So you have to mimic that in your paint work here, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So this part's pretty self-explanatory, just covering everything with the liquid mask like I've shown before. One thing to be careful of though is the inside of the windows here actually should be painted body color, so those will end up being red. But anyway, just got to go around the outside edge of this here. See, that's why it's nice to double check this stuff. So what we're going to do is, after I'm done doing this, which should be here in just a second, I'm going to take the front of this and I'm going to paint it white. Well, we're going to primer the whole car, and then I got to paint the front little bit of it white. And I'll show you what that whole process is going to be here in a second. Because on the real cars, all the underhood stuff would have been white. I showed that when I did the chassis, how I did that all in the white. I did all that in the white. So the inside of the fenders here should be white too. And the bottom of the hood should be white. I'm not sure how good the hood is as far as accuracy goes, because there is nothing underneath it except like a big heat shield. And I don't know how correct that is for the real cars. But given all the heat shielding and stuff they put on new cars, I assume it's probably pretty correct. Okay. Okay. So just gotta kind of take it off there. So I'm not really super concerned about the windows because we got to come back in and paint them black anyway, because all that surround's got to be repainted. But it's okay. So we just got to let that sit for a little while and dry, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to primer that thing in gray primer. One thing I did want to say was there's a tiny little ghost line right there from the mold. Little tiny bit of a molding line right on both sides right there. So be aware of that, because they're there. You'll see them. If you primered that, you would have seen it. But I caught it kind of accidentally doing my paint prep. I hit it with the 3000 and I could see it stick out a little bit. So anyway, let me let that dry, and then we'll get some gray primer mixed up and we'll start painting this thing real quick. Okay, we're ready. Like I said, I just got the primer all set up, so all you got to do is just come in here and do that very edge of the fenders there. And because we did all that in the green liquid mask, you don't got to worry about that getting on anything. Now I'm not doing anything else. This and this are going to be black, so that's going to be done later on, and it has to be done after the car's painted, because as you can see, a little bit of that sticks out. So when we paint it red, you're going to be painting that back edge of that too. So the hood I just stuck to this, and then kind of the same deal here. You're not really worried about that inside piece because it's going to be black anyway. So that's the first step. Let me let that dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll shoot the white on it. Okay, so easy enough. Let that sit for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Now we do exactly the same thing we did with the primer, but with the paint. Okay. Okay. I mean, it really is that easy. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in and we're going to tape the hood closed onto the body. Then I'm going to sand this a little bit just to knock that overspray off of there, make sure everything's blended all nice. Then we'll primer the whole car and we'll paint the whole car red, and that should protect that. That easy. I mean, it really is. So let me let this sit for a while, get it dry enough I can put the hood on without messing that up, and we'll come back and we'll get to it. All right, here's the good part. We're shooting Coca-Cola red. Finally. I know this is what you guys have been waiting for. So, yes, we got the underhood and the fenders painted and the white. And now we just need to do the body in the red. Look how good that looks already. And I know these are wraps, but you can still do as, you still cover everything, it's fine. Sorry about that. I have to leave my air compressor going because this is so much to do. I don't want to run the risk of airing down and goofing something up. Okay. Okay, that's a very good first coat. Let's grab some of these other parts and we'll go over them. Okay. 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 So that's all done, and this is ready for another coat. This one I'm going to spray on a bit heavier. Actually, I'm going to refill the airbrush, then I'm going to spray it on a bit heavier. That was a bit of a misstep there. Okay. Okay. Okay, get that under the light there. I'm not seeing any goobers. I'm not seeing anything wrong with that. That looks really good. I'm gonna set that over here for right now. And I'll try to get these other parts finished up here. Then we can get to doing some decal work and you won't have to listen to the air compressor run. Okay. 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 Thought I saw something on there. I didn't. That's good. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's the Coke Red. How about that? That looks great, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay. So we're done with that. I will clean out the airbrush. And let this dry probably overnight. I sprayed a little heavy, so I want to let it sit and dry for a little bit longer than just, you know, the 5-10 minute flash time. Plus I plan on doing, you know, all the decal work and stuff, so it's going to get a lot of handling. So I'm going to let it sit overnight, and then I'll finish that off tomorrow. I'll come back in and we'll pick up the decals. We'll get those put on, and I have to do the name and stuff, so I'm going to do it as Las Vegas. Just going to say Las Vegas Taxi Cab, and then it's going to just have the car number and then the Coke logo and Coke logo, and then on the back bumper it's going to have the car number. And that's really going to be about it for the decals. They're pretty simple. Oh, and then the decals on the top. Well, actually, I'm going to do mine on the trunk lid. So there's going to be numbers there, 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 and then it's going to say Las Vegas Taxi Cab with the phone number, and then it's going to be the Coke logo and the 2 Coke logos. So that's it. That's what I'm going to do. So let me turn this camera off, and then we'll come back to it when I get all the decals ready. All right, so we let this dry overnight. Looks good, looks really good. I am super happy with how that turned out. Beautiful. Okay, And then we also got all our decal set up. So I'm going to start with the license plate. This one come off of the Gopher decals, the 11001 new license plate sheet. See, Gopher Racing. And it's just the Nevada plate one. As you can see, I've used these on some other projects. They are great. Gopher makes a very, very high quality product. I can't say enough about them. Can't say good about them, I should say. So we'll let that sit for a second. Actually, while that's doing its thing, let me cut these off of here. So this is the sheet off of the Coke van, the older Ford Coke van. All right, so easy enough there. I don't think I'm going to use anything else on here. I was debating about putting those on the rear piece, but I don't want to do that. I do want to say one thing though. This kills me. They have one here. It says Coke van, which on a van with Coke graphics on it, that's okay. But if you just stuck that on a regular white van with no windows, yeah, you'd police would be stopping you for that. All right, so this just goes on the little license plate frame thingy here. Yeah, crap. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pretend it didn't do that. Get it flipped over so it's on there right, and get it set down. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna do the one on the hood just because I already know that that's already gonna fit properly. Now that one for the hood actually come off of my 40-foot Fruhoff trailer decal set. I use that trailer to do the maximum overdrive truck with. So it's got the Happy Toys decals on it now that I got from eBay, but it left me with that decal set, and this decal here is like perfect size for the hood. Did that just... Yeah, it did. Huh. That decal just broke in half. Oh well. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, perfect. Haha. Okay, that looks really good. I like that. And then, like always, just a little bit of the Solvaset. And give that a few seconds to work its voodoo. Okay. That looks good. I like that. And I'll do the one on the door, and then I'll talk a little bit about some of the other ones we have to do. So, when we were in Vegas for Best of the West this year, I hung out in front of the Rio Casino where the taxis pull up, and I took a bunch of pictures of them and tried to figure out what I needed as far as the markings went. And I finally decided on just doing it this way. So some of them have phone numbers, some of them don't. Most of them do, some of them don't. Like I said earlier, the Coca-Cola ones, they don't run those wrapped cars anymore. So none of those are even around to check out. Just stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was having kind of a challenge with trying to figure out how I wanted to do them. And then I finally realized that if I was building it as a Vegas cab, I could just use the term Las Vegas taxi cab, because they were just named like whatever they wanted on them. There didn't seem to be like any real naming system or anything. They were just called whatever you want to call your taxi cab company. So I liked that, so I decided I'd do it just Las Vegas taxi cab to kind of hammer home the point that that's what it was, you know. Ah, man, that just went right on there perfectly. Man, that is beautiful. So anyway, so that's what I ended up doing. I just made up my own decals that said Las Vegas taxi cab. Sorry, I just smashed my head into the camera there. Huh. Man, that looks good. So I'm going to slide that out of the way here for a second. Then I want to show you this, and then I'll just finish this off. I have one other thing I want to show on this a little bit later, but so what I did was I decided to number the car. Of course, it's in honor of my sister. So she passed away last year in 2024, and she was born in 1967. So that's what I did, the car number, 6724, birth date, then the year she's born, year she passed away. And then the taxi cabs, as I was saying earlier, some of them use a phone number, some of them don't. I decided to do it, so I did it, the 702, the Vegas area code, and then I faked it 555. And then I did it 12/23, December 23rd, her birthday. So that's how I did all the numbers on that. I need to grab this thing's gonna fight me. Ah, there it is. Okay, perfect. All right. So here's what I want to do. All I want is a little bit of a surround around these. Okay. Okay, see, easy enough. Okay. I'll see if this works. This is a different decal paper for me. I've never used this before. They say it's for laser printers, so that's what I have. I'm assuming it's going to be okay. Okay, let me focus on this. Oh, wow, yeah. Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh, that worked really, really well. Okay, let me bring this over a little bit. Okay. Wow, that paper is beautiful. Oh, I love that. Cool. Okay, I'll grab that paper and I'll show you what I bought here in a little bit. Let me finish up with these. So they ran, the best I could tell, they ran them on the corners of the fenders and on the back of the bumper. They put the car numbers on them. And then I also know from when I stayed at the Sahara, looking down, watching them drive in, they also put a number on the roof. And so I'm going to run the real thin, more modern LCD display taxi topper on it, and I'm going to put just the number on the back right here, 6724. Oh, come on, don't mess up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. Yeah, push the other one way far forward. Okay, let me see. Yep, that looks good to me. I don't think those numbers are, I think the white spot, I know each individual, I know the number sets are put on each car individually, but I don't think the white pattern was, I think it was already mixed in with the car when they did the wrap. So, God, that looks so good. Man, I am so happy. I am so happy with this. I can't even tell you. So these ones I made a bunch of because I figured as small as they were, I had to be running the risk of messing these things up, so I printed a bunch of these ones off. Okay, we'll see how that looks compared to this one. Yeah, it looks good. Ah, crap. Okay. It's so funny to me how I can't read that by itself on the paper, but I put it on the car and it suddenly, it's like my eyes adjust to it. It's like, oh no, yeah, it says debit/credit card fee. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that fell on the floor. It's fine. Okay, I need that one. And then I need to do the last two here. So I'm not going to bore you with any more of this. I mean, you just seen me do what I'm going to do. That's going to be it. Look at that. That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so let me finish doing all the decal work on this, and then I'm going to, I won't bore you with it, but I'm just going to do these dry transfers. And I'm just going to do the 6724 right up there. So when I get done with this, we'll come back and we'll be ready for clear coat. And I'll show you the decal set that I use for this. Okay, we are ready to start shooting some clear on the car. But first I want to make sure that the white decal paper works with my 2K. So every order you get, whenever you order paint or clear or whatever, you're always going to get some of the spoons and some of the droppers. This is exactly why we give them to you. As you can see, I just sprayed that gray primer and then just stuck the decal over the top of it. And then the dropper's great for this. Now this is 2K I pre-mixed already. This is in one of our mixing cups. I mixed way too much because I wasn't paying attention when I did it, to be honest. But anyway, let's get this tested and make sure it works before we screw up a model. Okay, that looks good. Sorry, I gotta have that running because of the way I'm doing this. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not, but nice and shiny. I don't see it eating into that decal. That corner was messed up anyway, so that's not a problem. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for just a little bit longer. I wanna let the compressor finish running first. I can start on some of these parts. Give them a quick blow off, make sure they're clean. And again, like almost everything I do, this is a 0.5 tip with 25 psi of air pressure. So good. There we go. Again, sorry about that. I just don't want to have to mess with editing out when I run out of air pressure, and I know it's going to take a bit to do all these parts because of the way they're all separated, so I do apologize if that's annoying. Okay. And all you gotta do with 2K is just make sure you get it until it gets shiny like that. And you're done. Just leave it alone. Okay, and that's still looking good. Yeah, cool. Okay. I always worry about that. I've never had a major problem with 2Ks and decals. I've had a couple of issues here and there though. So it is a little bit of a concern. But this project is so important. I can't have it. I can't have mistakes on it. It's just that simple. I can't. So it's really a stressor for me to come in and get this done properly. So I don't know. So anyway, like I was saying, I want this to be perfect, so it's a bit stressful for me to do this, to be honest. It's like, oh, come on, I can't have anything go wrong. Yeah, see? If I would have left that without turning that on, I would have ran out of air there. And that would have caused some problems. And again, I apologize for having the air run. I do know that it's a little annoying. And again, I'm sorry. I just have to work it the way I am, so. That one didn't lay down as well as I would have liked it to. Good thing I caught that now. So, at the beginning of this episode, I said that, or the beginning of this video, I guess not episode, I said that this is going to be the last one for the build, and it's actually not. As soon as I get done with the 2K here, I'm going to call this video quits. I need to cut this short. I've got way too much stuff to do finish wise after this to try to fit it into a video. Well, I've been trying to do my videos and keep them between a half hour and 45 minutes. I think that's a good length. I don't know what you guys think, but I've always found that time to be enjoyable to watch in other people's videos. And then my computer runs so slow, it takes me about 5 minutes to process through every minute of film. So if I did an hour-long video, it'd take me all day to get it ready to post on YouTube, and so I'm trying to keep them kind of a little bit shorter. Like I said, I don't know if you guys like that or not. If you don't, let me know. If you do, let me know. If you think they should be even shorter, let me know. Okay. I'm deathly afraid there's some of that solvacent in that little crook right there. Tell you honestly, I probably should have just hit this with the honey clear, with the honey gloss, I mean, and then just left it. But I want it to be real fancy, so. Okay. So you can't have it fancy unless you paint it fancy. Okay, let me refill this. Let me let that sit for a minute. Oh, that is looking so good. So good, oh my God. So here's a little piece of advice for you. You see how that's kind of flat and it doesn't look real sharp? That's because there's not enough clear on there. That side's a little better. You can see where it's a little bit more built up, looks a little shinier. If you leave this like this, it's going to dry like that. Basically, the trick to shooting 2K is just spraying it until it builds up enough to turn shiny. Looks like glass, and that's what you're after. That's what you're going to get when you're done with it. It's not a real brain teaser. It's just a little bit of working with it, a little bit of practice. You'll get to the point where you'll be able to just be like, okay, I got it dialed in, we're good, and you won't stress over it. It'll be easy enough for you to do. You'll love it. It's great. Another way to tell is when you spray that little leading edge, that little overspray bit will start to blend back into the surrounding clear. That's another way to tell that it's done. And then just, like always, inspect, inspect, inspect. Touch up the stuff that's bugging you. Sorry, I hope I'm getting that on the camera. And then, yeah, if you look at that, you can see how shiny that is. That's going to dry just like that. And I know that's technically a little too shiny for these cars, but again, I don't care. I want something really nice for the tables, so that's that. See, I mixed way too much of that. So yeah, that's Let's see, what is that? Yeah, and I can't see that very well. Looks like we're at 3/4 of an ounce right there. It's about where I started with. So I sprayed about half of that, I guess. So, and that's a 2021 Charger. I mean, it's a full-size 4-door sedan. It's in 24. It's in. I'm gonna say it's in 24 scale. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong, but I mean it's a big car. I mean, you can see. But yeah, so that's about how much I used on that. So I mixed way too much, but like I said before, I did not want to run out halfway through and have to mess with that. So now I'm done. I just have to finish it. Got to paint the black, got to do the topper, which is all going to be next episode. Like I was trying to say earlier, I got sidetracked, sorry. I had said earlier that in the video that this was the last one, and it's not going to be because I have way too much stuff to finish up with this. So I'm going to let this dry for like a day or two to make sure it's completely dry, and then we'll come back and we'll do the surround, and we'll glue in the windows, and we'll detail out under the hood and stuff, and we'll get it all ready for final assembly, and then we'll be done. And this thing's awesome. I am so happy with this. As always, thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching. And if you want anything from our website, use code YouTube10, get 10% off anything we sell. We sell everything you've seen here, the tweezers, the paint, all of that. We sell all those. We got tools, even the glue. That's our glue. That's our plastic mono glue. Basically everything but the Salvas set and my scalpel. Otherwise, we pretty much sell all of it. Go there, check it out, get 10% off. Use code YouTube10, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.